How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan, born to battle. Start just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the star shines bright, that's when we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And Stephen Jones showed himself in front of cameras at the Senior Bowl, Cowboys Nation. He spoke about the defensive stars that he and his staff were able to look at. He spoke about being in contract negotiations with Javonte Williams, as well as commenting on the new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all know how I do, though, Cowboys Nation. I watched the interview and I listened. So I could come away with some clips that would be pertinent for Cowboys Nation, and I came up with 3 clips. So we're going to get into these 3 clips, and then y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from Stephen Jones's interview at the Senior Bowl.
Will was talking about kind of marrying the free agency portion of this first so that you can go into the draft looking for best players available. Just as you started to look over the pool, how strong do you feel this free agency group is, and do you feel like it is strong enough to where you could make kind of a multitude of additions like you did last year to set yourselves up for this draft? Really,
yeah, I mean, obviously that's where we've had our most success, is really trying to go through our list of needs and trying to fill those in free agency, and then that allows us to cut and shoot when it gets to the draft and get the best player available. So that's certainly our goals. Will's done a great job with his staff, whether it's the pro side or the college side, of really looking at where the strengths and weaknesses are of the free agency class as well as the draft.
There have been a number of Dallas Cowboys fans who believe that Jerry and Stephen Jones are moving differently when it comes to the moves being made for the 2026 season. To keep it a buck with you, I do see some things that are being done that they haven't done in a long time. The way that they've tackled this defensive coordinator search is something that is extremely new to Cowboys Nation. Any other time, they would have told Brian Schottenheimer who they were gonna pick as the defensive coordinator and expected him just to go along with it. Kind of like they did with Matt Eberflus. This time, it's different, Cowboys Nation. This time, Brian Schottenheimer has had his hand in the process, and that's a breath of fresh air for all of us when it comes to the changes that need to be made within this organization in order for it to be successful. One of those changes really focuses on how the Dallas Cowboys attack free agency this year. Now, jumping into the second clip, Stephen Jones explains how the Dallas Cowboys defense will get better for the 2026 season. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
Well, it starts with what we just did, with hiring our defensive coordinator and come up with what type of players we want to be successful in the scheme that he gave us a vision that would utilize the pieces that we already have in place, and then ultimately we'll need a vision for where we need to improve, and that's where it starts. But it'll start by having a really strong coaching staff, which we're off to a great start with Christian and off to a great start with the candidates that we've been visiting with. And then the next steps will be to obviously improve through free agency and the draft.
I am so glad that they realize that success starts with them. It starts with the front office. It starts during the offseason with the hires that they're making and the moves that they've been making as far as this defensive coordinator position goes. We all know that the defense needs a lot of TLC, it needs a lot of tender loving care, but we also know that having the right person in that position is the most important thing that these guys could do to help these guys out on the field get better. This is why myself and a number of content creators have expressed the importance of this front office getting the defensive coordinator hire right. So far, so good, Cowboys Nation. Now let's go ahead and jump into this third clip so we can unleash this raw and uncut.
What are some of the expectations that you and the front office shared with Christian and what you want to see out of him?
I think what I just said, we want to be one of the top defenses in this league. And certainly I believe, if we do that, what we can do on the offensive side of the ball, certainly we think we're going to have almost all the pieces back. Then we can have a really great football team. Complement that with a really strong special teams unit, and I think good things will happen for this football team.
He was talking about the offense. He expects to have all those pieces back. That's a good thing, Cowboys Nation. But there's that word again, expectation. Of course, this job comes with the highest of expectations from Jerry and Stephen Jones. My thing is this, though. You can place the expectation on the coaching staff and on the players. But you also have to understand that Cowboys Nation has expectations for you as well, Stephen. But y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
Keeping it real, they keep it real, that's real.
I will admit, Cowboys Nation, I'm really liking how this offseason's been going so far for the Dallas Cowboys. The search for the defensive coordinator wasn't the typical search from the Cowboys. We didn't hire somebody from within like Aaron Whitecotton or somebody. They did their due diligence in interviewing candidates, a lot of candidates, and they went with who they felt would be a great fit with Brian Schottenheimer and what he's trying to do for this Dallas Cowboys team. They picked Christian Parker with a heavy involvement from Brian Schottenheimer, which hasn't been done in a very long time with the Dallas Cowboys. We may have seen a defensive coordinator chosen by the head coach, but they would be forced to have an offensive coordinator that they didn't hire. Mike McCarthy comes to mind. This time, Brian Schottenheimer's had a voice in this entire process, and that's something that I can get behind moving forward, Cowboys Nation. Another thing that's different is not hearing from Jerry Jones in a situation such as this. Normally, you would have Jerry, Steven, and Will McClay at the Senior Bowl talking to reporters about what their plans were for the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. Jerry would be inviting reporters in for a word salad and talking about going all in. Thank goodness he's not doing that this year. Honestly, I feel if he did that, he would have a number of Cowboys fans checking out because we're tired of hearing the same old broken promises from the owner of this football team. In order for change to happen, you have to do things different. And as far as the Dallas Cowboys, the front office is doing things a little bit differently. And another thing that they're doing differently is handling this extension situation differently. They're handling the extensions of Javonte Williams and George Pickens differently. Stephen Jones was asked about both players during this interview, and he kept it professional on both sides. He didn't comment about George Pickens other than the fact that we want him on the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. Normally, there would be a smear campaign when it came to the top players on this team. Well, it hasn't happened yet, Cowboys Nation. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it doesn't happen. But that doesn't mean that Jerry Jones won't have a relapse and start talking nonsense about George Pickens. But it hasn't happened yet. The thing is, if you want to convince Cowboys Nation that things are moving differently, those typical slanderous comments don't need to happen. But when it comes down to it, Cowboys Nation, change is the ultimate thing this organization has been missing for decades. While the NFL has changed, the Dallas Cowboys organization has continuously stayed the same. They've been the organization that's been behind the trends and been behind the curve for so long. Now that the league is going back to a defensive-led league, the Dallas Cowboys are doing their best to try and catch up with the trends. Now what needs to be done is to nail free agency. Nailing free agency is about as important as nailing the draft, as well as nailing the defensive coordinator position. Don't sit on your hands while the top players get taken off the board so quickly during free agency. If you want an aggressive team, the front office has to display that same aggression. If you want to win in the draft, you have to win in scouting. Will McClay. You've got to be willing to sacrifice in order to achieve the goals that you're shooting for in life. It's been 30 years of continuous trolling from every fan and every talking head that's associated with the NFL. If they want the Dallas Cowboys to be considered one of the top teams in the NFL, it all starts with change from within. It starts with change in the front office, change that's been needed for going on 30 years. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about the interview with Stephen Jones? Do you feel that the Dallas Cowboys are moving differently from how they've moved in the past? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help the channel reach its current goal of 20,000 subscribers, drop a like on this video, share this content with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device, make sure you hype this video. Doing so will help get this content out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans. They'll come over to the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel and become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you see this front office moving differently, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or film breakdowns. You can catch the Madden 26 and College Football 26 gameplay on the new channel, the Angry Cowboys Fan Gaming Channel. I'll put the link to that in the description. Change is not impossible, Cowboys Nation. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you're headed. If you want something positive to happen in your life, change comes with the territory. For the past 30 years, Jerry and Stephen Jones has ran this organization with football as the secondary thought. It's never too late to change that, Cowboys Nation. It's never too late to change for the better. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I love you guys, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.